All right, man. Peace. So now they have on this show hosted by Jason Whitlock. He's going to bring out a guest by the name of Rashad McCants. He's a member of the sports league known as the Big Three. You know, former NBA players who are basically playing a 3-on-3 tournament. But he also happens to be one of Khloe Kardashian's quote-unquote ex-boyfriends. He's going to make some statements about her and about their family that basically, in a roundabout way, on a low level, confirms the so-called Kardashian curse. I've already done a video about the Kardashians. They basically just bring in a lot of simple-minded black men and sap their spiritual energy for their own well-being and for their own popularity. So let's see what he has to say.
All right, let's get to it. Rashad McCants is in the building. Let's bring him onto the couch. We got some great stuff to talk about. He's got some great basketball takes.
And all these so-called black men that they get with, they always end up down in the dumps. That's how you know. See, but a lot of these so-called black men are not spiritual. They don't understand the power of the spirit that they were given. All right, everybody wants to suck your spirit dry, take that energy and convert it into something that they can use for themselves. The Kardashians on a much higher level because, like I said, they are a witch coven, allegedly.
I'm going to ask you about the Kardashians. Rashad, can we start with the Kardashians? I'm going to keep you for 2 segments. I hope you don't mind. Can we talk about the Kardashians first, or do you want to talk basketball first?
Whatever you want to go. Whatever you want to go with it.
We'll start with the Kardashians. You say you would be worth $60-70 million as an NBA player had you not dated Khloe Kardashian. Explain.
In other words, you would have been worth $60 or $70 million if you were not a simpleton.
Well, I never said that.
Oh, all right. Well, tell me what you said.
Without the situation in play, I'm worth 60, 70 easily. And that's on the modest end, just because I didn't say it to be one contract, 60 million. It's, two contracts, 35 million.
Basically, it's the same thing without that situation in play. What situation are you talking about? You're talking about dating Khloe Kardashian. Come on, bro.
On the easy end with my stats, from averaging 15 a game and 10 points a game for 4 years.
What was the situation in play? Define that.
Thank you. Jason Whitlock is catching on to the same thing I caught on to. He's basically just trying to change the words. He probably is worried about getting caught up in a lawsuit.
Now, what does that mean?
I think
she's a high profile celebrity.
Yep.
And I was in a small market Minnesota team. So once I made OK Magazine, People Magazine, media takeout, I was getting unwarranted attention.
No, you started dating her with the assumption that she might help you diversify your portfolio. She probably came at you with the promise that she could improve or increase your revenue streams, diversify your revenue streams, and you went along with it, not understanding that, that's how satanic forces come at you with promises of wealth. All right, you were a simpleton and you went along with it. All right, we all take losses in life, bro. That's a loss for you.
That conflicted with teammates, coaches, and GMs that were involved in my life at the time. So that can create a conflict, and it did.
So you're not blaming her?
I never blamed her.
Yeah, then I have no issue with that. That's what I was saying. I don't like it when men blame her. Like, you're not blaming her.
I mean, but I was listening to you.
So did you change your mind?
No, I'm not changing my mind. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people who have perspectives and opinions, but they don't have facts. And we're about facts only. And I've never...
I appreciate that take. All right, I appreciate that viewpoint. It's important to be about facts.
Go ahead, Jay-Z.
Yeah, we're about facts only. So, just clearing up the rumors and the opinions. Khloe's a good girl. I have no beef with Khloe. It's just the situation and how...
She ain't that good because y'all ain't together. Dudes always coming with that shit. People in general, like, oh, they're a great person. No, they not. Either they were not good enough or you wasn't good enough, because if y'all both was as good as y'all claim y'all still be together. Like, come on with the bullshit.
And how it played out. She did paint my name in a bad picture in an episode.
Well, you just said she was a good person. Now you saying she painted your name in a bad way, bro. Which one is it?
So where they faked, like they, hacked into my phone and that I cheated on her and all this. And it all plays a part when you're dealing with the NBA.
Wait, that wasn't real?
That was not real.
You see with that airhead, that blonde airhead, that wasn't real? This is why I call him a simpleton. You got involved with her thinking that you were not going to be used as a plot point on her show. They don't care about your life, bruh. Their whole life is for public consumption. They don't give a shit about you. And people watch, things on TV and they believe all that. Like they believe that reality shows are really reality.
Oh.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. I never said that I was Team Chloe or Team you. I just needed to know the information. I'm sitting here ready to hear it.
You're being polite.
You can come at me. Come at me.
I'm not.
You being polite. Chloe only dates weak men.
That's not what I said.
Yeah. But like you said, I got out. So I wasn't as affected as the others.
Right, you got out, but you said she's a good girl. See, this is the problem with a lot of time with the so-called black man. He's scared to speak the truth because he's worried about being demonized as a so-called misogynist or a woman hater or chauvinist, somebody who's bitter. Right? If it's the truth, it's the truth. And this is why, they can set up things like witch covens, like the Kardashians, and allegedly, and they never get revealed because these guys are scared to talk about what they saw. I'm sure he's seen a lot of things. I'm sure he's seen a lot of chanting and seances and things of that nature, but he won't speak on it. He's probably like, well, if that's them, that's them. He's talking about he got out. Sound like he was in a cult. That's what people say when they get out of a cult. I got out of it.
From my perspective, it was a situation that could have been avoided, like she said. It could have been avoided had I known how important she was and her family was to the public eye. And I didn't know. And the moment I found out, it was too much for me, so I backed out.
No, bruh, be real. She came at you with promises of wealth and exposure and improving your marketability, bringing in additional revenue streams, and you went for it. But like most people who get dragged into those type of situations, you didn't know what all that was going to entail. When you realized what it would entail, you backed out. All right. But by then it was a little too late. You were viewed as a Kardashian boyfriend.
And it just got kind of ugly from there when it came to the executives and trying to figure out, where my place is in the NBA.
Of course. Why would an NBA or an NFL executive look at you as somebody who's viable for their sports team if you get caught up with a Kardashian on a TV show? They're already looking at you. They're already saying they can already deduce any so-called black man that would date a Kardashian. They're already looking at you and they're saying, okay, we know that he's not a team first guy. We know that he's not very intelligent. We know that he does not have high standards. So due to the fact that we know he doesn't have high standards, we know that he doesn't utilize much discretion. And he doesn't have discipline. How does that reflect in what he may bring us to the basketball court or the football field? That most likely means that you may have issues learning the playbook because you're not disciplined. You might do your own thing on the court or on the field. That's why they don't want you, bruh. That's why you got to be careful about who you affiliate yourself with.
Outside of that situation.
Wait, so I hold on. So I just want to say, I completely see everything that you're saying. I don't think that I didn't mean I hope you didn't take it that way to be like, oh, she only dates weak men.
Don't start backpedaling now.
No, hold on. I'm not
backpedaling.
I do think that there are a lot of situations where it is a strong woman and a weaker man, but I think everyone grows up and you didn't know what you were getting yourself into. So
what are you saying, Christine Leahy? You said that it's difficult. Most times strong women date weak men. So what are you saying about your man?
You started dating her and you got out. The only issue that I ever really had with it is for the guys who blame her for what happened to them. And you're not doing that. And
I agree with that. The man should be held to a higher standard of decision making. I don't understand these guys. They get into these situations and then they try to act like they didn't know what was coming. Right? What did you meet her in a dark room? You didn't know who she was? You mean to tell me that once you found out who she was, you totally were unaware? Come on, man. She made promises to you that she was going to help you with your career, and you said, why not?
No, not at all.
And by the way, good for you for dating her. Like, date whoever you want, and then it's a learning experience. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Rashad, it's my opinion she needs an older man in her life. It's my opinion. That's who could handle a Kardashian.
But now you're saying exactly what I just said, though.
What?
Like, what you accused me of
No.
saying.
It's not about weakness or strength. It's just the maturity that an older 50-year-old sports talk host could bring to the table.
Wasn't.
Man, please. You mean tricking. And you don't make enough money to trick on her. She don't need your money. And you damn sure ain't going to be able to do nothing for her in the bedroom because that chick, come on, man. She's been ran through more than a damn Los Angeles freeway. And you probably haven't seen your penis since Reagan was in office. Like, come on. Give me a break.
Wasn't Bruce older
We
than Chris?
didn't date him. Oh.
Bruce was older than Chris, right?
Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
You're saying Chris and Khloe are like the same person?
I'm just saying, you say date older men. If Bruce was older and Chris was a Kardashian at the time, and now Bruce is Caitlyn,
Gotcha.
you know, older men might not be.
Gotcha.
It might not be the route that they need to go.
Last question on this topic. Tristan Thompson has disappeared right before our very eyes.
Yeah, Osculum Infame. Worshipping that ass. I bet you, when he spread her ass cheeks, I bet you it's one of them things like, you know, like when the psychiatrist puts somebody in a trance and they see those spirals spinning and spinning. I bet you that's what's in her booty hole. It's just a spinning and spinning spiral, just putting the man in a trance.
Is this a situation in play again here with, do you believe in the Kardashian curse?
I have this conversation a lot.
Just get to the point, nigga. Do you believe in the curse? Just say you do.
I think it exists only in our minds.
That's the only place it needs to exist.
So that means it exists.
It's a mental thing. I think with Tristan, he just needs to play. I don't think he's in his head. I just think that the Golden State Warriors have a tactic where Draymond Green has to take him completely out the game.
I don't understand with these guys. Isn't it obvious? Shouldn't it be obvious to you that these females in the Kardashian clan they're utilizing some form of witchcraft to take your spiritual energy? I mean, I can imagine what they're doing in the bedroom. I can imagine what these women are doing to these guys' food, the food that they're feeding them. Probably putting all type of potions and menstrual blood and all this other type of shit in their food, man. Like these guys something else. And I've stated this already in the past. I believe that the movie Get Out, even though it clearly has a lot of MK Ultra themes, I believe that it also alludes very, very slightly to the Kardashians and the things that they're doing as far as using a lot of these so-called black men for their spiritual energy and how simple-minded they are. But the movie Get Out, that movie covers a lot of different aspects that I might do a review on. I saw a brother comment saying that he wanted me to do a review on the movie Get Out. I think that so many people have done reviews on it already that you don't need another person. But one thing I will say about that movie is this, that I haven't heard anybody else say about that film. And I mentioned this to a brother already. It's amazing to me, and a lot of so-called black men don't pick up on this. When you watch these movies about interracial dating, the black man has shown you time and time and time again that he will make movies, the so-called black man will make movies demonizing black men in interracial relationships. Every time I've seen a movie about interracial relationships with a so-called black man and a Caucasian woman, it always ends poorly for the so-called black man. But every time the so-called black woman makes a movie about interracial dating where she's with a Caucasian man, it always ends in happiness. Right? Isn't that something? I remember, Tyler Perry, I think I mentioned this on a previous video. Tyler Perry did a great movie called The Family That Prays. It's by far the best movie he ever did with Sanaa Lathan. And she has an affair with a Caucasian man who happens to be her boss. And it ends terribly. Spike Lee, of course, did Jungle Fever. Wesley Snipes, Annabella Sciorra. It ends terribly. This guy, Jordan Peele, did a film with, I believe the man's name is Daniel Kaluuya. Right? He's a so-called Kenyan, so-called ancient Egyptian, with a Caucasian woman. Right? But for all intents and purposes, the movie was about a so-called black man with a white woman. ended horrifically, obviously. But, you know, the so-called black woman does movies like Something New, and it ends with marriage. So despite the fact that a lot of these black women, so-called black women, talk about race this and black love, subconsciously, they constantly are making movies to promote happiness between them and Caucasian men, while so-called black men are making movies trying to demonize interracial relationships. Just something to think about.
And if you give credit to Chloe for that, you're diminishing what Draymond brings to the game. Draymond is just taking Tristan completely out. I mean, you got an offensive rebounder that can change the dynamic of second chance points. So Draymond's job is to take that element out of the Cleveland Cavaliers offense, and it makes them look bad. It makes it look like the Kyrie Irving, LeBron James show. And when you don't have that element that Tristan brings to the game, you know, you got to blame somebody, and why not blame Chloe?
You already blame Chloe. This nigga's all passive aggressive. He knows some things that's going on, but he can't talk because he don't. They might show up at his house and all of a sudden he's in bed and they got a damn black bag wrapped around his head, kidnapping him, throwing him in the back trunk.
So listen, based off what you
allegedly
said earlier, do you think? And again, I'm being dead serious. Do you think executives, coaches, players may say, Tristan, you know, this Kardashian situation perhaps distracted you and cost us?
Yes.
Tristan, I'll put it like this. Tristan Thompson's lucky to be on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because if he was on any other team doing this, his career would be over. But I could just tell, you know, you could just tell by his countenance and by the look on his face that he's not too bright, Tristan Thompson. You could just tell by the way he moves, he's not too bright.
Yes. And that's where my statement comes to light and becomes relevant, because it is a distraction when it's media perpetuated. You build it up to make it look the way it looks, and that's what it's going to look like. So for executives looking at Tristan in the free agent market, they're like, well, if she's dating her, he's not too serious. Though
I just don't understand how a dude could walk down the street holding her hand. I just don't get it, man. That's like you walking down the street in a pair of drawers that you know the last 30 men done wore and didn't wash. And you walking down the street proudly in them drawers, man. It's crazy to me.
Those are the same things that I got in free agency. Well, you know, he's kind of Hollywood. He likes to be on TVs, likes to date celebrities. We don't know if he's taking the game too serious.
And that's how they should have viewed you. Because to be quite honest with you, bro, for a guy only averaging 10 points a game, you bringing all that extra baggage. Who wants that?
Now, you just made a point that I wasn't even expecting to go here, but that's kind of the argument I've been making about Colin Kaepernick in the NFL, that this type of thinking is what happens with executives and coaches. Like, they want you to have, as close to possible, a single focus. If we're paying you $5, $10, $15 million, we want you focused on football or basketball.
Absolutely. And it becomes a conflict when you want to venture off and do business, or you want to be in movies or do music. Your focus has to be strictly on your profession, and that's whatever sport you're in. And
I don't blame them. You're an investment. You're an asset. You running around trying to do music and movies, and, bro, you're averaging 10 points a game. You're on the Kardashians. Like, what are you doing?
All right, we're joined by Rashad McCants. You're playing in the Big Three League, correct?
Absolutely.
You're on Kenyon Martin's team. Tell us about your team.
Kenyon Martin, Al Harrington, Coach Rick Mahorn, James the Flight White, Rick Mahorn, and Deion Glover as well.
You're like one of the youngest players in this league. I think you're going to have an advantage being that young.
All right, so now this dude, Rashad McCants, he's going to give you some insight on how he could become one of Khloe Kardashian's pawns and simpletons. He's going to make a statement about who the greatest basketball player is in his opinion, and it's going to give you some insight into his overall mindset. So let's see what ensues when both he and Jason Whitlock talk about who the greatest basketball player ever is.
All right, Rashad, let's talk some basketball, because you told our producers something really silly. Kobe Bryant is the greatest player of all time. Please explain.
He came out of high school.
So did Moses Malone, but go ahead.
Listen to this dude's reasoning. This is why I stay on a lot of these so-called Kobe Bryant fans. It's like whenever you ask them to qualify any of their opinions, it's always just some dumb shit. He came out of high school. He scored 81. He used to have an afro. I like his sneakers.
He mimicked Michael Jordan. Who was arguably the greatest player of all time, of course. I feel like Kobe Bryant took the game and elevated it where Michael left it. He elevated it. 81 points.
See, didn't I tell you? They always say the same dumb shit. He scored 81. Look, and what Kobe did when he scored 81 points is phenomenal. But Michael Jordan's high scoring in a game was 69 points. So a lot of times Kobe Bryant fans try to use the 81 point thing to say, well, he had a higher single game point output than Jordan ever had. Well, there's a lot of guys who have more points in a game than Michael Jordan ever had. David Robinson had a 71 point game. I believe David Thompson had a 73 point game. What's his cat name? Elgin Baylor had a game where he scored over 70. Nobody says that those guys are better than Jordan. So, I mean, look, I think it's phenomenal what Kobe did, but he used the 3-point line to get most of his, to get a large chunk of those 81 points. All right? And it's not to diminish it at all. It was a phenomenal achievement. But scoring more in a game than Michael Jordan ever scored does not make you the greatest player ever. But let's see what else Rashad has to say.
The consecutive playoff appearances.
Yeah, he missed the playoffs in 2005 after he ran off Shaquille O'Neal. Once again, to me, a truly great player in his prime. You don't miss the playoffs.
His street ball mentality.
Street ball mentality makes you the greatest player ever. All right, bro, I got you.
He's a better scorer. He's a better
scorer than who?
Michael Jordan.
Whitlock said, scored than who? And just like a Kobe fan, he'll look you dead in your face and believe that shit. Let me see. He's a better scorer, but Jordan averaged more points per game, shot a better percentage. Despite the fact that Jordan is not known as a three-point shooter and really wasn't a good three-point shooter because they didn't play in a three-ball era, Jordan's three-point percentage is the same as Kobe's. Let me see. Jordan had averaged more steals, more blocks, more assists, and more rebounds than Kobe. But Kobe's the better player.
Jordan.
Kobe Bryant is a better scorer than Michael Jordan.
Better three-point shooter, better ball handler, better passer.
Better passer, but Jordan averaged more assists. And then get to play with a guy like Shaq, where you basically get 4 or 5 cheap assists a game. Oh boy, I got you.
He's not a better athlete. He's not a better defender. They both have that champion mentality.
Wait, but that's where I think you're wrong, because you can't say that Kobe only cared about championships. You just can't.
You can't. But what you can say is that he won without Shaq. And Michael Jordan didn't win without Scottie Pippen.
That's true. But the main reason why Michael never won a championship without Scottie was because Michael didn't run Scottie off the team. Right? That's kind of part of Kobe's narrative, is that he ran Shaq off the team. So, it's kind of strange when Kobe Bryant fans or LeBron James fans, they pull the Scottie Pippen card. Michael never won without Scottie. Well, that kind of happens when you don't run from team to team and you don't run your teammates off the team. Those kind of things happen. It's called continuity.
But he did many things that prevented his team from winning additional championships.
Like what?
Took a $52 million contract that prevented the Lakers from bringing in any other star players.
Because he didn't.
I don't have a problem with that. She's, like I said before, Christina Leahy's one of these chicks who, she sees a lot of Lakers at the club or at these little restaurants, and they bitch and complain to her, and she tries to bring it to the airwaves. I don't care about that. Kobe got his money. He deserved his money. They wasn't gonna win shit anyway. If you wanna castigate Kobe for stopping them from winning championships, then you could talk about how he ran Shaq off. All right, you could talk about that.
Because he didn't need any
Ran
other.
Shaq out of town.
He didn't need any other star
Ran
players.
Shaq out of
Yes, he did.
town.
Thank you, Jason. That's more relevant. He ran Shaq off.
He did look at the record without star players.
Well, he won 2 championships without having star players.
2.
2.
And then from then on,
It's all about legacy.
First of all,
And
Paul Gasol was a star player at that time. The man ran Shaq out of town,
And
Rashad.
well, we make the legacy of our stars all about stats. I'm talking about skill. I'm talking about pure skill and.
You see what he did there? That's common Kobe Bryant fan methodology in regards to quoting or allegedly trying to debate on who's the best player. They take it out of the literal realm, the fact-based realm, and they want to take it into the emotional realm. I'm talking about skill. Kobe could go between the legs better than Michael could. That's why he's better.
Skill and will. Now, Michael Jordan, I just finished watching film on Mike last night, and he's incredible. You can't, like, the debate of saying Michael is the greatest, you have to put it up there. But Kobe Bryant came along as the student and surpassed the master.
so you look at, I guess the definition of greatest is different.
I do. I believe it's different. I mean, because we all look at it from stats.
I really enjoyed the first part of this interview. Rashad. I mean, you're a young man. Have you ever heard of someone called Lou Alcindor?
Yes,
Changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
absolutely.
He wore a Lakers uniform.
Yeah.
He won 6 MVPs. He won 5 or 6 titles. He led the league. He's the all-time league leader in scoring. He had the most unstoppable shot in the history of the game. You sit him down right now in this league, and he can still drop that sky hook at 50-some-odd years
Absolutely.
old
Absolutely.
and still get you 2 points at the end of a game. Before Kobe gets to even talk about Jordan, he's got to climb over Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And, let me say this. I have a lot of brothers that come in my comments and they say, well, I shouldn't say a lot. Every once in a while I'll see the comments and somebody say, you're talking about Jordan. The real best is Kareem. I never said that the best wasn't Kareem. I've yet to state who I believe the greatest basketball player ever is. Right? I should say I haven't made a video about who are, in my view, the top 10 greatest basketball players. I might do a video about something like that, but I have no problem with anybody saying that they believe that Bill Russell or Kareem or Abdul-Jabbar are better than Jordan or more valuable than Jordan. I have no problem with that at all. All right. My videos have been about Jordan in comparison to LeBron James or LeBron James and Kobe. Those are the videos that I've made. I've never made a video saying that Jordan was greater than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So why didn't Michael have to climb over those guys as well?
He did, you idiot. He won more championships than, he won the same amount of championships as Kareem, pardon me. And I believe he won one less MVP. Right? So if we want to give Kareem the title of the greatest basketball player ever, I have no problem with that. But the things that Jordan did as a non-center have never been done in NBA history and haven't been done since. For a non-center to lead his team to 6 championships, that has never been done. Like I say, Kobe Bryant led his team to 2 championships. LeBron James to 3. Isaiah Thomas to 2. There has not been a player that has accomplished anywhere near what Michael Jordan has accomplished in the NBA. If we want to talk about from a proportionate angle. All right? This man was 6'6". He is the first non-center to lead his team to multiple championships. All right? Even if you want to talk about Magic, look, Magic had Kareem. All right? Jordan won multiple championships with Bill Cartwright and Luke Longley. Luke Longley was a cast-off player. Like, it's hilarious when you see these comments with these guys. Most of them never even saw Jordan play. Oh, well, Jordan had a stacked team. That team was not stacked. That team was not stacked at all. Right? Most of those guys were cast-offs. Other than Jordan and Pippen, even Dennis Rodman was a cast-off, believe it or not. He was just a guy who was very productive.
He did. He had Magic and Bird and Kareem and Bill Russell and all those guys to climb over.
Right. So Kobe had those guys to climb over as well, and he has. He has.
He rode Shaq.
We just don't want to give it to him. You don't want to give it to him because Michael is our sports Jesus.
You shouldn't have to give him anything. If you want to give Kobe the title of being the greatest player ever, then you should be able to qualify it. You can't qualify it. The only thing that you could say is, well, he was better. He had a better handle. Like, he's a better scorer. If somebody asks you to qualify, you know that you can't do it.
Mike is a sports genius because he did it first. He did it first.
No, he did it best. Higher player efficiency rating, shot better from the field, higher point per game average, more championships, more MVPs, better rebounder, better shot blocker, better defender, better passer.
He was the first one to give us everything.
Do that Michael never did? Please. Besides the 81 points.
Besides the 80.
But Michael won 6 titles. Kobe didn't.
5.
Michael, how many MVP? Kobe won 1 MVP. Michael probably won 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know.
5.
How many real good players were in the league when Kobe was in the league? A lot. A lot of guys didn't.
You see their arguments? And this is the shit that they do because they really don't know what they're talking about. And it's a shame. This guy is a former NBA player. Kobe Bryant played against a lot of great players. But he himself described the NBA players that were in the league when he first came into the league as killers. All right? And Kobe had a great generation. Iverson, Garnett, McGrady, Vince Carter, Jason Kidd. A lot of great players in Kobe's era. But Jordan played in the era, with all-time leader, like all-time assist leader John Stockton, like second all-time scoring Karl Malone. Guys like Charles Barkley and Magic and Bird and, the list goes on. And then he even played into the era where you had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, Clyde Drexler.
Didn't win championships because of Kobe Bryant.
I believe Hakeem Olajuwon, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Who exactly did Kobe stop from winning championships? That Philadelphia team that they beat, that wasn't a championship level team. That was just a team that came out of the East. And, for a lot of these brothers who love to talk about rigging, the NBA wanted Iverson in the finals. There's no doubt about that. All right? But, come on. Who the hell did he stop from winning a damn championship? Shaq is the one who was the MVP of those first 3 finals. So if you want to talk about who Kobe stopped from winning a championship, he really only stopped Dwight Howard, who's not a great player. He ain't stopped nobody else from that era. Tim Duncan, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Garnett, they all got their championships in his era.
There was a bunch of great players in Michael's era. Listen, I'm not even a Mike. Y'all are turning me into a Michael Jordan fan. I'm a Pacer fan. I called Michael Jordan hot air his entire career, but I'm not going to let you young people desecrate what Michael accomplished.
We not. We just saying give Kobe his credit. Give Kobe his credit.
Where's LeBron James on your list?
Well, when you factor in Lou Alcindor and Shaq and Hakeem Olajuwon.
All those guys are above Kobe, by the way.
And guys like that, Isaiah Thomas.
That Isaiah Thomas is in the same group as Kobe, around 11 to 15.
You got to put LeBron in the top 10.
Oof.
I agree with that. LeBron is top 10. Probably somewhere around 6. Somewhere around there, 5 or 6.
You can't put him in the top 5 because of the stats and accomplishments that he has now. We're talking about skills. Let's talk about
what skill doesn't LeBron have?
Well, he can't take over the game.
Come on, man. This fool's starting to show why he's playing a 3-on-3 tournament instead of an NBA. And like I said, this interaction shows you how he got to be with Khloe Kardashian in the first place. He's a simpleton.
Did you see the 48 special?
Did you see the
48 special?
Did you see the 2 blowouts?
Or the
1 and 2?
You said can't take over games. He has failed to take over a game or 2.
A game or 2 or 3?
But he can take over a game. Did you see the 48 he put on a great Pistons team?
Kyrie Irving can take over a game.
See, he's just one of these cats that has a shot jacker mentality. If you're a shot jacker, you're gonna love Kobe. That's why Kyrie loves Kobe.
So can LeBron.
LeBron James can facilitate the game. He can get all those guys involved. But when you're talking about 2 minutes to go,
that's a different conversation.
2 minutes to go. We're giving LeBron James the ball.
Yeah.
Take us home.
Different conversation.
Take us home, LeBron.
That's not the game. That's the last 2 minutes. Now, if you want to talk about fourth quarter LeBron, end of game LeBron, you have an argument. But the man is squarely in the conversation as one of the top 5 greatest players of all time.
Yes, I think so. He's in the conversation, but that doesn't mean that he's going to land in the top 5. He's going to land in the top 10.
I'm being asked to ask this question. Look, man, I don't have my blood pressure medicine with me right now, so be careful here. I've been told you think Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James.
Oh, see, I like you more than I even thought. This is good.
How is he not?
Man, don't
I
have
mean,
a
in this
title.
final,
We don't
for
need-
sure.
Call me tonight when he has his
We
first
keep
title.
talking about stats and titles. We're talking.
Yeah, things that are quantifiable. Right? What's the fun in talking about and having conversations and debates where you're actually using proof, right? It's better to just talk shit. That's a normal Kobe fan.
We're talking about Kevin Durant doesn't have to lift a weight. He doesn't have to be as strong as LeBron or fast as LeBron. LeBron can't guard him.
I don't think KD can guard LeBron either.
The matchup out there is a nightmare.
It is on both sides.
And then we see LeBron make a comment about Golden State having all the firepower, the most firepower he's seen. What? The only firepower you see different in that team is Kevin Durant. That's it. You've seen Steph Curry before. You've seen Klay Thompson, but you've never seen Kevin Durant with those two. He's been the best player in the league since he came in.
Nah. Right now, he's the best player on the best team. At least for now. We'll see what the NBA got planned. Who the hell knows what could happen in this series. But right now, he's the best player on the best team.
We just don't want to give him the credit because he's been losing in OKC.
Fair.
Well, he also played in a loser style of offense, a one-on-one style of offense.
Shad, you had a great first 10 minutes. I hope there are no NBA executives. I was rooting for you to get back in the NBA.
I'm just sipping on my tea over here.
NBA executives are probably listening to this going, my God, what did the Kardashians do to this man?
No.
Kevin
What do you
Durant's
think
about to get
Kevin
a chip. He's about to get a chip. It's going to be a sweep. And we're going to have a whole different conversation next year about basketball.
I don't know if it's going to be a sweep, bro. Now if the NBA can help it.
Who's the best and who's the worst and what team new guys are going to. Because you're going to have to clean out. Cleveland's going to have to change that team.
Yep.
The one crazy take you have that I kind of agree with is that Golden State isn't the greatest team we've ever seen. They're just taking advantage of an era that doesn't move the ball.
Right. Absolutely.
Explain that. Or
Well, you look at
40 seconds.
You look at the Spurs. The Spurs blueprint of team basketball. Move the ball. Share the ball. The Cleveland have 2 ball stoppers, LeBron and Kyrie. Golden State doesn't have any. They move the ball, they share the ball, they shoot the ball.
Right, well, that's why I said that Paul George would not be a good fit with Cleveland. It's going to be a third ball stopper.
And that's basketball 101.
Shad, it was great meeting you. Good stuff. I want to have you on again. Talk to you during the Big 3 tournament. Big 3 league. Hope you do well.
Thank you.
Good stuff here. Rashad McCants.
Right, so that's basically it on that. I just wanted to add that in because that shows a lot about so-called Kobe fans. They're pretty delusional. They just say anything, and they don't like to argue. They don't like to debate the facts or, you know, what actually occurred. They just want to go by their feelings. And most of them just are fan of shot jackers. But, you know, they have the right to their opinion. All right, man. Peace.